Hi, Matt with eTrailer. And today we're going to be talking about the Titan chains, alloys no tire chains with cams on the 2023 Toyota Highlander. And these are going to be on our 235/65 R18 tire size. Something to note, we're also going to have this on our front axles. We just checked the owner's manual. We recommend you do the same. And always check out our fit guide to make sure you're buying the right chains for your tires. Something I would like to note before we kind of go on is that we're going to have some pretty bulky chains and we're going to have very limited wheel well clearance. So it might be possible that we might make some contact with our chains with the suspension in the back. We're not making contact right now, but there is a little bit of space there. So keep that in mind if you're driving down the road and something kind of loosens up, or maybe you didn't tighten something down all the way, it has a chance of making that contact. If you're not worried about making contact, these are going to make great chains for like if you're in any more harsh environments that's more prone to snow and ice. Because we're going to have these links back here, and they're going to be our square links, and that's just going to help you really dig and bite through the snow. And that might kind of create more of a bumpy ride for you, but it's definitely going to be more of a secured ride. And we're going to have this ladder pattern as well. And that's going to provide you with better pulling forward and backing up in a straight fashion rather than making turns. Our chains are being constructed from an alloy just to make it more durable. And they're going to have this zinc finish to them just to make them more rust resistant. And they're going to hook onto these other chains that attach to our cams. And these cams are just going to help you get more of a tight hold on your tire. It makes it really easy to tighten down as well, so that's why I like them. Our chains are going to come 2 chains per bag, and they're going to come with an included tool to tighten down your cams. For the quality of the bag, it's made from this canvas. It's pretty lightweight, and these are some pretty solid chains. So I'd say maybe after 1 season, this bag's probably going to be pretty beat up. So I'd recommend maybe trying to get something a little bit more sturdy to keep them in, maybe like a small tote, just to make sure they're out of the elements and nicely just kind of secured. Something I'd also recommend getting is this rubber tensioner. A lot of times when you're driving on the road, the chains might kind of loosen just a little bit. So just having this tensioner kind of adds for a little bit more security on your chains. To start off with the installation, I'd recommend laying out all your chains when you get them, or as soon as you get them, just to make sure you have all your parts, everything looks nice. When I check my stuff, I like just kind of lay everything out, make sure the links are nice and clean and undamaged, and they're going to function right. I'd also recommend doing this on a day that's pretty nice out, if you can, or like in the best environment. So when you do have to put this on in an emergency, you're not trying to figure out how everything functions and works when it's really snowy out. And once you've done checking all your chains and they look like they're in good condition, you can start making sure everything's facing the right way. So we're going to make sure our chain's laid up with the flat part of these hooks facing down towards our tire and the hook parts facing up away from our tire. We're going to have these cams on the outside so they're easy to access, along with this one down here. Next up, I'm just going to go on the other side, find the center of my chain. I'm going to push this a little bit closer, just make it a little bit easier for me. Now I'm going to grab the center, just lay it over a tire. You can kind of just slide it on there. Making sure this black chain here is kind of in the center with the middle of our wheel. Making sure everything's going to be easy to grab on both sides. And now I can go on the inside underneath and hook things up. Now we're going to come underneath here on the inside of our tire, and we're going to grab this chain back here. It's going to be kind of a tight fit, especially if you're a larger person. And I'm going to grab a hook from this side, and I'm just going to hook it on the first link just because we're going to tighten it down pretty well with the cams. Might be a little tricky, especially with gloves on. Oh, there we go. It's hooked on, and as you can see, it fits pretty loosely. But once we tighten down the front and then the cams, it'll be very snug. Now we can come on the front side, and I'm just going to take our chain, and I'm going to take this hook over here, and I'm going to go through probably just the first link and just stick it through the center and make sure it's facing this way, and just hook it, and you have this additional chain that's kind of sitting off here to the side, and we're just going to loop it through that C section. And now it's going to be a lot tighter, but it's still pretty loose, and this is going to allow us to kind of make sure everything's centered. And when you have everything in the right place that you want it to be in, then we can tighten the cams down. To do that, I'm just going to take this included tool, and I'm just going to stick this flat part in through this center hole, and I'm just going to twist it. You'll see how the chain travels through here and hooks on, and I'll do that for the other two as well. And if this doesn't get as tight as you would like it to, or you're just kind of scared that it's going to loosen up a bit, we also do have this rubber tensioner on our website, and you can put that on as well. All you have to do is make sure the hooks are facing out, and just make sure they're all dispersed throughout the chain. Just like this. And once you've completed this process on this side, you can do the same thing on the other side. And once you've completed the installation for the other side, you can kind of pull forward and back up some, just to make sure everything's nice and secured and not loose. And then you can hit the road. And that'll do it for the installation, and look at some of the features for the Titan chain snow tire chains on the 2023 Toyota Highlander.